Red Bull's empire, once a fortress of dominance, is starting to wobble. And it's happening just as the Formula One paddock packs its bags for Imola. The Emilia Romagna Grand Prix isn't just another race for the reigning champs, it's now a pressure cooker. What was once a team running laps around the competition now finds itself stuck in traffic, both on the leaderboard and inside the boardroom. And the man at the center of the storm? Christian Horner. Behind closed garage doors, it's not just race pace that's raising eyebrows. Whispers are turning into roars about a potential power shuffle at the top of Red Bull's command chain. Horner, who's long been the face of the team's swagger and strategy, is now under the microscope. Combine that with a serious drop in performance and it's no longer just a bad weekend. It's starting to look like a full-blown identity crisis. After getting knocked off their perch by a resurgent McLaren in 2024, Red Bull hasn't bounced back the way fans, and perhaps even the team, expected. Instead, they've stumbled into 2025 like a driver trying to warm up cold tires. Slow, skittish, and struggling for grip. Sitting third in the constructors' standings and watching Max Verstappen chase both McLaren drivers in the points, that's not just shocking, that's a headline nobody at Milton Keynes wants to read. And while the stopwatch tells one side of the story, the real tension is simmering behind the scenes. Rivals are circling, pundits are poking holes, and even within the camp, the confidence that once bordered on arrogance now feels paper thin. Red Bull may have the car, the tech, and the pedigree, but right now, what they desperately need is a reset, and Imola might just decide whether they find that reset button or fall further into freefall. Christian Horner has been the face of Red Bull racing for nearly 2 decades, equal parts strategist, spokesman, and paddock provocateur. Since stepping into the role in 2005, he's guided the team from scrappy midfield hopefuls to a juggernaut with 6 constructors' crowns and 7 drivers' championships. For years, Horner seemed unshakable, like the last man standing when the music stops, but suddenly the tune is changing. What once looked like a legacy written in stone is now being smudged by growing unrest. According to reports from Italian outlet Autosprint, the seemingly immovable Horner might not be as secure as he once appeared. It's not just a slump in performance that has tongues wagging, it's the possibility that Red Bull's leadership could be considering a dramatic reshuffle if things don't turn around fast. At the center of the storm, a make-or-break upgrade package scheduled to arrive in Imola. Now, in F1, upgrades are as routine as pit stops, but this one's different. Insiders say it carries far more weight than a typical aero tweak or diffuser update. If the new bits don't shave tenths off lap times or catapult Max back into the title fight, the fallout might not just be technical, it could be political. In short, it's not just the car being tested at Imola, it's Christian Horner himself. A disappointing result might not just cost Red Bull championship points, it could open the door to a leadership shakeup that just a year ago would have sounded like pure fiction. Now, it feels like the next chapter in a story that's rapidly shifting from dynasty to drama. Behind the scenes of Red Bull's empire lies a quiet but powerful figure, Thai billionaire Chalerm Uvidya. As one of the brand's most influential stakeholders, he's usually the type to keep a low profile while letting the trophies do the talking. But according to the latest reports, that patience might be wearing thinner than Pirelli softs on a hot qualifying lap. Word in the paddock is that Uvidya isn't just irritated, he's fed up. And when someone with that much power starts tapping his fingers on the boardroom table, things get serious. Autosprint hints that his growing dissatisfaction could soon boil over into something more decisive, a demand for new leadership. And in this high-stakes game, Christian Horner could be the one shown the pit lane. Tying Christian Horner's future to a single upgrade package might sound like overblown paddock drama, but when the source is Autosprint, Italy's motorsport bible, people start to lean in. And it's not just about lap times anymore, it's about succession plans already taking shape behind closed doors. According to the magazine, Horner's potential replacement may already be waiting in the wings. Earlier this season, a high-ranking F1 executive abruptly stepped down from a major management role, raising more than a few eyebrows. At the time, the paddock chalked it up to internal team friction, your usual backroom brawls and clashing egos, made worse by a newly hired advisor known for turning harmony into havoc. But now, the plot thickens. What once looked like a messy exit might actually have been a precision move. The new whispers suggest it wasn't about escaping a toxic environment, it was about positioning for a power shift, a calculated exit, with eyes already locked on a possible leadership vacancy at Red Bull. In Formula One, nothing is ever coincidence. Not sudden resignations, not upgrade deadlines, and certainly not timing. If this individual truly left their role with Red Bull in mind, it means the chessboard has been set for a while, and Imola might be the race that's where the first piece finally moves. The name surfacing at the heart of this quiet succession storm: Oliver Oakes. Once a karting sensation, Oakes has since carved out a reputation as a sharp-minded team principal, most recently taking the reins at Alpine after Bruno Famin. But earlier this year, he stunned the paddock by walking away from that role, without warning and at the time without a clear destination. Initially, the F1 rumour mill blamed the usual suspect, Flavio Briatore. The flamboyant, no-nonsense advisor had returned to Alpine, and, with him, came the sort of turbulence that makes even seasoned bosses second-guess their tenure. But as the smoke begins to clear, a more intriguing storyline is taking shape, one that suggests Oakes wasn't fleeing a storm. He was steering towards an opportunity. Autosprint now claims that Oakes had Red Bull on his radar from the start. And here's the kicker: this wouldn't be the first time he's been linked to the team. During the infamous Horner affair in 2024, when Red Bull weathered internal probes and leadership squabbles, Oakes had already been floated as a potential heir to the throne. Horner may have emerged from that chaos with his job intact, but it clearly left behind more than just paperwork. It planted seeds of doubt. At just 37, Oakes brings a rare blend of business acumen and racing intellect. He's known for nurturing young talent and building junior teams that punch well above their weight. But perhaps most crucially, he shares a long-standing connection with Christian Horner himself, dating back to their early days navigating the junior racing circuit. For a team like Red Bull, which thrives on loyalty and legacy, that kind of shared history might be more valuable than any race-winning chassis. So, while Horner still wears the team principal headset, Oakes might just be waiting for the moment he's handed the mic. Should Horner be nudged aside or offered a more corporate perch, Oliver Oakes seems ready to slip into the role without missing a beat. The idea of Christian Horner being fired feels unlikely. After over 20 years and a trophy haul that rivals any in F1 history, his legacy is solid. But that doesn't mean he's not planning his next move. Former F1 driver Christian Danner recently suggested that Oliver Oakes' surprise Alpine exit could be tied to Horner's own ambitions. Speaking to Sport.de, Danner hinted Horner might be eyeing a higher role within Red Bull's global structure, possibly stepping away from team principal duties. If Horner does move upstairs, he'd need someone sharp and trusted to take the reins, and Oakes, with his mix of leadership, loyalty, and a shared history with Horner, could be the perfect fit. Whether this is serious reshuffling or just silly season chatter, Imola is about to provide the answers. The race has become more than a championship round. It's now a crossroads for Red Bull. Do you think Christian Horner is gearing up for a promotion behind the scenes, or is Red Bull quietly preparing to replace him altogether? And if so, is Oliver Oakes the right man to lead the next era? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, goodbye for now.